Apple's announcement of the iPhone 17 Pro is less than 5 months away, and now another leaker offers a new look at what the device's unibody camera design may look like. Apple has some interesting design modifications planned since the flagship iPhone 17 series will be unveiled this autumn. Though the Pro line will get design tweaks as well, particularly around the back camera system, some of the most thrilling upgrades are on the ultra-thin iPhone 17 Air. Leaks have consistently shown that Apple would use a new camera bar design on both the iPhone 17 Air and the Pro and Pro Max variants. Initially, this shift with the Pro series was believed to bring a two-tone rear of the handset, the camera bar one hue while everything else below it is another. Mark Gurman, however, just wrote, "The iPhone 17 Pro, I'm informed, won't feature a two-toned back. The camera region will match the hue of the rest of the gadget." Today's Fresh X render from Canada Cane provides a decent view of what this unibody camera finish would seem. As is true every year, we'll need to suspend judgment until Apple shows off its final iPhone 17 Pro appearance. But first reaction, I'm not convinced right now. While the completed product would undoubtedly change in minor ways from any representations made today, my first view is that a two-tone design may have been a better appearance. There have been lots of speculations concerning the iPhone 17 series, anticipated this September. But now, there's a story from Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, renowned for his wide-ranging insider information. A fresh study emphasizes the screens on the iPhone 17 line, hence augmenting Gurman's in-depth analysis. Let's start with that. According to facts from Jucanless Reef, giving a tip on X, the upcoming iPhone flagships will feature an updated display. That's for any phone in the series, not just the Pro versions. It's previously been rumored that the iPhone 17 series would add promotion to the non-Pro models, something Gurman touches on as we'll see later. But now it looks that a newer display, an M14 OLED screen as it's termed, will arrive to all 4 iPhones, including the slim iPhone 17 Air. If true, it will represent the first time when the Pro and non-Pro screens are identical, aside from size. The M14 displays, to get into the nitty-gritty, is recognized for being more efficient in the blue-emitting layer. This advantage helps to increase brightness levels by 30% compared to the older N13 displays while also upping the lifespan, it claims. In his newest Power on Email, Gurman summarizes up his opinions about what's coming this autumn. He speaks about all 4 of the predicted iPhones, and which ones he believes are worth considering. Here's what he thinks, and my perspective on his ideas. He starts less than excited, it appears. The standard iPhone 17 will follow the same pattern as recent years by not getting major new features. Apple saves its newest bells and whistles for the higher-end models, and I don't anticipate that to change this year, Gurman says. That doesn't seem fantastic, but let's remember that the iPhone 16 was one of the largest advancements to the standard iPhone in years, bringing it close to the iPhone 16 Pro in a number of ways, though I do miss the Pro Motion display with quicker refresh rate that the Pro models offer as an exclusive. Gurman has something to say about it as it happens. As others have reported, the device is likely to get some small enhancements to its rear camera, as well as a promotion display, which allows for smoother scrolling and animation. He argues, and I believe this is likely to happen. What else? The Pro models, meanwhile, will get major camera system upgrades, including 48-megapixel sensors across the back trio of cameras. There are now 2 48-megapixel cameras and 1 12-megapixel sensor, the telephoto. 3 cameras with the same greater pixel count might give various additional functionalities. Finally, Gurman tells us his option. Given its price point, the iPhone 17 will remain a solid offering in the Apple lineup. But if I were splurging for anything in the $800 area, I'd attempt to reach another $100 or so and simply grab the slender new iPhone 17 Air. You actually won't be sacrificing that much in terms of the specs, and you'll be receiving a surprisingly tiny and light phone with substantially more screen real estate, he says. This makes logical, however, I believe we need to know a lot more about the Air before being sure. Personally, I believe a lot of people may trade down from the Pro to the Air to obtain what's sure to be a sleek new design for $100 less than the price of the Pro. Price may be a sticky matter for the iPhone 17 Pro Max, with one analyst forecasting that the whole iPhone 17 series might become more costly after the iPhone 16 allegedly dodged a price raise by the skin of its teeth. While other iPhone models haven't experienced any big price rises for years, the Pro Max model has. Apple nixed the 128 gigs iPhone 15 Pro Max, instead settling for 256 gigs of basic storage. While the 256 gigs 15 Pro Max was the same price as the 256 gigs iPhone 14 Pro Max, it still meant the price of entry was $100 greater that year, a pattern that Apple repeated with the iPhone 16 Pro Max. While we don't know if a price raise will happen or whether it will influence the iPhone 17 Pro Max, we shouldn't be shocked if the phone does cost more than the $1,199 iPhone 16 Pro Max price tag. While we don't know precisely when Apple will release the iPhone 17 Pro Max, it normally keeps to the same release timetable annually. Typically, Apple introduces new iPhones around the first or second week of September, with pre-orders commencing later that week. Release day normally follows a week later. Apple's A-series CPUs are among the finest mobile chips today, and each version has given much higher performance than its predecessor. We anticipate that tendency to continue with the A19 Pro chipset, which should appear on iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max later in the year. While there had been reports that Apple may move to a 2nm technology, which would make the A19 Pro even smaller than the 3nm A18 Pro, that shift presumably won't happen until the debut of the iPhone 18 at the earliest. This implies we'll be seeing 3nm devices until at least 2026, probably longer, depending on how development proceeds. Instead, A19 series chips are now scheduled to be built utilizing an enhanced version of TSMC 3nm technology. Performance and energy efficiency advantages over the A18 series should emerge from this, however not as much as from moving to a 2nm technology. Any boost in energy efficiency, however, ought to result in a battery that is even better than the one found in the iPhone 16 Pro Max. A hotter running CPU may come from the improved performance, but happily, Apple appears to have taken it into mind. Adding a vapor chamber cooling mechanism to the iPhone 17 Pro models would possibly address the problem. This technique harnesses liquid inside a copper pipe to move heat away from a device's most vital components. Lastly, Ming-Chi Kuo and Jeff Pugh both predict Apple could offer the iPhone 17 Pro Max 12 gigs of RAM. Compared to the iPhone 16 series, it is a 50% improvement, and it is presumably done so that Apple can give even more on-device AI in forthcoming editions of Apple Intelligence. The C1 modem, which Apple launched with the iPhone 16e, is supposedly not going to be compatible with the iPhone 17 Pro Max. That capability is only likely to be implemented in the iPhone 17 Air. However, the iPhone 17 Pro Max is rumored to have a new kind of Wi-Fi chip, which is a first for the iPhone's connection. According to speculations, Apple may be creating its own batteries with intentions to unveil them with the iPhone 17 cell. Although there aren't many information available, it's been reported that Apple wants to give significantly improved performance compared to the existing one. As you may expect, we don't want battery life to worsen. However, if Apple can succeed, it's still a wonderful thing. According to a source, Apple may introduce reverse charging to the iPhone 17 Pro variants in addition to fresh or Apple-made batteries. Your phone can charge other devices, typically headphones like the AirPods 4, by employing reverse charging. Although it's unsure if Apple will seek to emulate the existing version featured on Samsung's Galaxy series, the new capability may allow 7.5 charging. We still don't know a great lot about the iPhone 17 Pro Max, given the speculations are still in their early stages. Nevertheless, what we have heard thus far is pretty exciting. Although boosting the telephoto lens's resolution may look good, we are disturbed by the claim of a shorter optical zoom. If you ever needed to use it, the simplicity with which batteries could be removed would be vital. I'm not sure if Apple will make any alterations to the design, but I'd be stunned if they did away with the classic square camera configuration. I do appreciate the Pixel's appearance, however, and it will be exciting to observe how Apple can keep its phones distinct, especially since there are a number of leakers indicating that the new look would be introduced. However, there are still a few months before the iPhone 17 series is slated to appear, so things may change in the meanwhile. We'll have to wait and see what rumors and leaks come out next. How do you feel about the render of the iPhone 17 Pro? Tell us in the comments section. So, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more tech news and updates. See you tomorrow.